only one of these teams are going to be moving on. And now we drop the NPC energy.
Oh, wow. That was difficult. Man, love your NPCs in your video games, especially your buffs.
Yep.
See here, a purple mirror start for Irad and Detective. I'd say maybe half a second faster, Irad is.
Yep, ever so slightly, right? And those seconds are going to eventually accumulate and start to build up. However, we're seeing quite volatile lanes, right? I mean, it's Yi versus Farsa, and let's not forget about topside, Nats versus Wadu in this Arla versus Joy battle.
Oh, looking at Wadu, he is rocking the Tenacity Arlet, which I personally think I like more. Just for me, I like the fact that I'm expected to do just one thing, and that set up an amazing final slash. But if you're going up against Light, look at that jump in.
He knows his angles, right? But it's also just to kind of keep CFU in check. This could be a potential dive on the bottom side of the map. Let's see whether or not Zing is actually going to make that mistake. He's going to go for that recall while Irad instantly looking to invade. Ooh, that's going to be a retribution battle already won by Irad. But more importantly, Detective gets to hold on to his own.
I don't think mistakes are what we're looking for here because RSGSG are just forcing CFU Gaming to respond a certain way. Folks, you are not confused. We just have to switch up the sides, but you know who's who. RSGPH, the reason why we're so hyped for them is because this is the return of the MSC 2022 lineup with an updated jungler. This is Irad. His mechanics are on point, and who'd have thunk the young man who chose to start a rivalry with Carl TZ the GOAT would be back so fast.
Some people say, is he done with his break? Others may say otherwise. Nat's already coming in with the electrifying beats, getting at least 2 members under 50% HP. They're dropping down their ult to the artillery as well. Irad able to walk away out of there. Wadu's getting a bit low. Decimation from Irad with a heavy spin from Detective. A little slow, but Z now trapped in the corner as Irad chains one.
No.
He's looking for the third Maniac. He's getting more than what he's asking for. Wait, hold on. Imagine though. This could be, it would be very funny if he ends up going down. But now that the cooldowns have reset, they're going to start backing away, and I don't think CFU is able to punish this any harder than the amount of gold they've given over to RSG.
Gideon, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the biggest 1,600 gold lead at 2 minutes? That's really quick. Look at how we started here. The note that Detective kept his heavy spin just so that he can use it to disengage means that he knew somehow he's going to get the retribution, right? But the fact is, the turtle take isn't going to lead to much if you can't use it. So yeah, that's what led to the early Maniac and then the eventual snowball by RSG. Again, 1,500, 1,600 at 2 minutes.
And this is all about just, clapping back. 2-level lead coming in from Irad compared to Detective right now, driven down to 1. But that 4 kills, that's so much gold, right? We all know that Irad at this point in time has it. Flamesy in trouble now. The decimation still available for Irad. Finds it again, looking for a second, even going for the retribution. Goes underneath the tier 1 to make the attempt. Z wants him. Ooh, Feather Airstrike being committed as well. Irad barely takes any damage, hardly feels it.
Yep. And now, with that, there's still something you have to check for in the XP lane. The fact that Irad spent so much time there, despite seeing that it's the long lane compared to where the turtle actually is, means he trusts Light. Light has been super hyperactive this early on in the game. And I have to say, it's been a while since I've seen Light on the Kufra, and this Kufra has won him championships. MPL Philippines Season 9, MSC, and has gone deep in the past couple of seasons, 10 and 11. So yeah, CFU Gaming, they have to find a way to shrink this 2K gold lead. Eman with the pull.
They're going to start things off. Light charging up, doesn't connect just yet. They could look for a punish, but Light isn't exactly the main target. RWM is already up with a Feather Airstrike to return. It's going to be RSGPH who walks away with that turtle, but Nats is ahead enough with the glowing wand to chunk out Detective. We didn't even start talking about the effect of those 4 kills and the assists that went to Nats.
Yep, we talked earlier, that series between Flash and Bleed, right? How putting gold on a Martis isn't as great as it usually is, or when you're snowballing, but here he goes in, goes, this was what we saw earlier, right? From that jump down bottom. But yeah, back to it. What's that gold lead going to do for a Martis? Well, it can help you push the tempo. You have to find a way to make yourself such a big threat like this. You live in your opponent's jungle and that's it. Grand Theft Purple, Irad is guilty of one charge.
Absolutely. He's going to go for more, right? Like, look at him. He's trying to deny options for vertical jungling for CFU. And more importantly, so Zing has not actually transitioned down to the bottom side of the map just yet. He's holding up, making sure that he can look maybe for some goal. This could be easier for him than dealing with the Beatrix.
That's right. I reckon he's going to become a repeat offender. If the speed continues, right, if they keep pushing this tempo, they're going to grow this 2K gold lead to about 3,000, and they're approaching that. And so far, CFU only had one kill. So yeah, again, the fact that RCPH have such a great front line and they're already threatening these weird angles means Zingozo, yeah, he hasn't died yet, but he's not exactly farming as fast as he should be. Looking at his gold right now, it's 4,000. Yeah, he's down 500.
Yep, he's down 500, and so far, I think we're really seeing the value of the mystery shop coming in. Like, Nats has bigger items. The same can be said about Aqua as well.
Yeah.
Very cost-efficient so far, and this is where they're starting to feel the pain. Light setting things up. He's going to try, but misses, but still is going to flicker forward to ensure that the kill goes over to Iman.
Yep, and that's an easy turn take up top. And in mid, yeah, they're just not fast. Look at this, 3v1. Nats is just going to clear this wave, and then there's a rotation. Huge. Oh, wow, 6 minutes and a half, we're approaching 4K. And they're not even going to think of taking this turtle.
The problem is this was supposed to be a make it or break it moment for CFU Gaming. From here on out, RSG is going to start dominating for the next 6 minutes of the game until maybe something goes wrong.
Whoa! Did he?
No, Detective still has it.
He's good. He's good. He's good. He's okay. He's all right. And he didn't even need to use the retribution. So, all right. CFU Gaming, their mechanics and their game sense still on point. You were saying.
Yeah, so it's all about just dominating this section of the map. And RSG is going to escalate things for the next 5 minutes or so. Irad, once again, invading into enemy space. The Detective does have his retribution, but he's 2 levels down. You sure his aura looks good, and it's going to be Irad who wins that. Oh, yes, it is Irad who wins the retribution battle out. Really unfortunate.
What I say, repeat offender. It doesn't matter what kind of buff it is. He'll take everything. And that's what put Eman on top of the food chain when it comes to gold earned, second only to Irad. And then, yeah, Zingozo, he's holding on. The fact that, there's not any fights he can take means they have to just hunker down. And look at Zingozo here. He's going up against Nas. Oh, you see that? Oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
He has to hit, though. That's the thing, he has to hit because of avarice.
Yeah.
He can't just go home.
It's a frustrating situation to be in, but there's nothing that CFU can really do unless Flamesy finds an insane catch. Zing just taking hit after hit after hit.
But the thing is, Zingo's already picked up a pair of pants. So that's why he's able to stay in. That's why he's able to take a hit from the Renner and say, ooh, that hurt, but at least it didn't kill me. Right? So he understands the current tempo of the game. He knows that 4,500, approaching 5 is huge at 8, but it's not over yet. They haven't really given anything up. Right? They haven't really lost many fights. They've actually slowed down. But what that does for RSG is for them to revert over to the fundamentals. Check it out. Purple in jeopardy.
They start walking away, and Irad is going to take it no problem. You know, the more I look at this composition, the more I'm realizing this is probably... Wait, hold on. RWM is already coming out. The mid-tier 1 might actually fall here. As Light is able to stop Wadu. Heavy spin, not going to do too much except disengage. The rest will body block the shots. But coming back to what I was talking about, right? Isn't this the exact same composition that they won a championship with? Like for MSE 2021, if I remember correctly? Oh no, it could be 2022.
Close, but not with Joy. Very similar, right? You might have been able to change the jungler because Mars wasn't as hot back then. But yeah, very, very similar. And this is how RSG has come back. This is their comeback season, right? They're now approaching 6K ahead. Oh, wow. No, look at that jump, 7K ahead. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, they cannot do anything wrong at this point, right? Unless
they shouldn't.
They shouldn't technically. Ooh, the shot almost connecting onto Zing. Z, unfortunately, has to wait his time. Light finds 1. He's going to be locking down this counter as soon as possible. Feather Airstrike to try and disengage, but Irad is still able to secure it. Chains 2 instantaneously, but you're not going to stop him. Wadu looking real juicy. Light just tanking the shots, gets back into the fight. Mortal Coils to try and get on out, but Wadu still holding on. Triple kill finally to chain the last one. Give it a second. Maniac. This is Irad. This is your prodigy.
All right, Gideon, what would you rather have? 2 maniacs or 1 savage?
Ooh.
Krite versus Irad.
I mean, I think I would go for the Savage just because we haven't achieved it just yet. But 2 Maniacs is still impressive.
2 maniacs in 10 minutes, fam.
Like, how do you lose from this position?
The Raiders are going crazy. Oh, Wait, Zing, this is 2v1.
It's not looking good so far. Zing is trapped, and Nats is going to hold him hostage for as long as possible to give this kill over to Aqua. And finally, that boy Blast is going to take him out. So far, so good.
Aqua is crisp right now. It's like he never was gone. The first time that Aqua took a break this previous season was his first break in his whole MPL career. So the fact that his senses are so keen right now and so sharp is just amazing. Tier 2 goes down up top in Rsg. 10k ahead. They have lethal thoughts.
I don't know about you, but don't you get a little nervous when Light's just charging up, ready to go in? He's got his flicker available. Like, he can see the angles. He knows he can catch 3 people at once. It feels like he's holding himself back.
Yep, I'm blessed to say that I've seen this in the real, in person, and now RWM.
Yep, it's going to start things off. Wadu with a final slash to try and clear everything up and just catching just the minions. See, he is taking more and more damage from 45 to 50% to now 65% of his HP.
All right, so we've been singing the praises for RSG all this time, but the fact that CFU Gaming are holding on so well, digging deep into their roots, this very Blacklist International-inspired squad, you can see that they know how to defend. They've seen this about 1,000 times before, and they know how to dig themselves out of a 10k gold deficit, right? Looking at the items here, Thunderbelt and Radiant Armor currently on Wadu, and you can see that Zingozo, when we last checked, 3 core items, right? And a pair of tough boots. So he should be fine. Oh, but wait, there's a jump.
It might be initial catch, but Light, he's not going to fully commit on it. It's not a primary target, and I think that's very good decision-making, but let's, as we brought it back to Zing, 3 core items, one of which, it's not a corrosive side. He decided to go for the Winds of Nature, so building defensively is going to help him out a lot.
And that's good, given that I'd say a good number of marksmen in the SPS challenge season have fallen into the trap of maybe I won't build Wind of Nature first, or whatever the defensive item that's equivalent is. This is good. So great sense of awareness, great game sense for CFU Gaming, and they had the sense to say, you know what? We shouldn't really get out of our base here. What little buffs we can give to Zing, or what little buffs we can get Detective to confirm, is what we should be happy with. So yeah, they understand the situation right now. RSG with a free Lord, a Luminous Lord at that, and oh wow, they're just juggling this 12k gold lead.
They're trying to synchronize the waves, and I think it's really important that they do. Let's not forget that CFU does have some decent high ground defense. However, it's going to need a commitment from Blazing Duet, Final Slash, and even a Feathered Airstrike, and there's only one Feathered Airstrike. So here we go. The siege begins with Lord crashing into the mid inhibitor. It's going to crush it down, but on bottom side, they can even struggle to clear this wave. Top side has been untouched this whole time, so that's a guarantee of 2 inhibitors falling into the hands of RSGPH. And now we think about the second wave.
And they do get that. Bottom lane, though, is safe. So CFU Gaming have that one last bastion. They can at least say, you know what? Long lane. Oh, luckily enough, long lane from the Lord coming up next is what's safe. So there's very little management we need to do. Irad coming in, dive into it, the jump!
Yep, he gets it, and his rage is looking so good. Heavy spin to try and disengage, but Light, he's already tanked too much. Blazing Duet as well. With the Winds of Nature, keeps Zing alive. Z flickering in to secure the kill on towards Light's side. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Wadu and Nats are trying to back away. RWM coming at the last moment. Zing can only take so much damage. He's able to juke it in time. And now Iman left by himself. He has got the Haas Claw, flickers away just in time. Dodges Z's last auto, and more importantly, dodges the damage. Nats, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh!
He's got immortality. He's fine. Unless Iman? No. Okay.
But respect.
Respect.
Respect. Dear Lord, that was all Zing. Zing was threading the needle. In, out. Weaving and bobbing, left and right. Could have sworn he was going to die, but he said not today.
Not today. He's going to see the Lord at some point of his life, but it's not today. More importantly, I will say, this is the biggest lead we have ever seen at SBS. 13K? You usually never get to see these numbers in professional play.
I concur, but just the same, Gideon, this is the biggest lead we've seen with the opposing team on the losing side still putting up a fight.
This is like endgame stats, right? This is what we expect to see once we get into the postgame. But 14-2, CFU Gaming, if they can survive for another, I want to make an estimate about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, it will take about, like, what, 2 Lord defenses? Second one, but probably going to be easier, but for now, CFU, they can't really walk out of their base.
Yep. But again, good news is that's where they should pick the fight. That's how they ended up in this situation. That's how Zing wowed us, right? By surviving for that much longer and even threatening a wipeout on RSG. Do you not agree that that could have been a wipeout?
It could have been.
If they forced it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why you got to respect all of your opponents, but you still have the mentality of fearing none of them at the same time. In this case, let's see. What's their decision making for this upcoming Lord? It looks like CFU is just going to give it away.
Yep, that's the play. That's the play here. Let's stay inside the base. We know what's coming. It's the inevitable. Let's plan for this rainy day to come because Aqua decided to come to play. Man, with these 2-star mid laners coming back, not so much of a result for Haji and Black International, but yeah, Aqua coming back here. It's like he never missed a beat. It's like he pressed load game on a game that he's left for like 6 months. That's how long the break has been for this young man. And it's like, yeah, hey, look at MLBB. I'm glad I'm back. What's up, Snapdragon Pro Series?
He went on a vacation, never missed a day of scrims. Despite that, that's what it feels like right now for the side of Aqua. CFU Gaming, on the other hand, right, if they're going to come back from this, they have many different ways to actually delay the super minions from actually getting it in towards that building. That heavy spin, very powerful tool.
That's right, but the thing is, in that last engagement inside their base, I saw that he tried to isolate Nats, but the fact is the kit of One Joy was just too much, so maybe Detective should isolate someone else. Change the zip code of one of these members, but right now there's a defense.
Yep, Irad is getting chunked down. The Divine Judgment already coming and forcing out the immortality. Nats is jumping onto Zing so far. Wow, instantly getting shot down by Iman. Quick flicker and the flick of the wrist. They've already ended this fight. 2 are down, 3rd about to fall, but they go straight for the crystal. Disciplined, sharp, and a break that honestly didn't feel like a break.